Here we go. What's up, folks? Oh my gosh. I might be considered a mess today. Gather round. Let's do this. We have an extended amount of time to do whatever the hell we want. This show comes to you from the Baldwin Ace Hardware Fear Bunker Studio. It is the 8th of April, 2021. The Eric Zane Show podcast begins now.
Hey, this is Patriot Nick, and you're listening to the Eric Zane Show podcast, where if you don't like what the host says, he'll threaten to fight you in the streets.
Hey, I'm a girl.
Oh, wait, that's not the right clip.
Guess I have to fight you in the street now.
Oh, there you go. Now here's your host,
I'll fight you in the street.
Eric Zane.
I don't care where it is. I will fight you in the street.
I'm not going to fight anybody. I can't fight. Like, for somebody who doesn't know how to fight, well, I sure do challenge a lot of people to fight. I don't know how to fight. All I know how to do is like Hulk smash, rage out and flail. That's all I would ever do. Really, really ugly. So, all right, this show, of course, comes to you from the Baldwin Ace Hardware Fear Bunker Studio. As I said, it is a daily podcast, Monday through Friday, where I talk about news, nonsense, and my personal adventures each and every day. Let's go over the basics for you. First of all, you can download this podcast on audio to your heart's content. I sound like Stuttering John there. Did you hear that? Just on any of the podcasting platforms. Eric Zane Show. Download it, subscribe, rate, and review if you would. That would be so kind. Thank you very much. For the live element, doing it live. We'll do it live each and every day on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Facebook's brought to you by Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid, and EV. Share that thing. If you see it on Facebook, don't just sit there and be passive. Screw Zane. I don't want to share it. If you share it, it helps me. It really does. Share it. Throw me a thumbs up, too. I would appreciate that. Twitter, brought to you by Blue Frost IT. I should say Twitter. The Periscope video brought to you by Blue Frost IT. At Eric Zane Show on Twitter. Please follow me on Twitter. Retweet this as we speak with a snarky, mean comment. Side note. It's crazy because I'm constantly encouraging that, but most people understand that there's a time and a place for that. Like when I say, go ahead and retweet with a snarky comment, I mean it. I really do. You know when it's not the time to throw in snarky comments is when I'm conducting an interview with folks from the National Kidney Association and Gift of Life and Jeffrey, the guy. We're having a very serious conversation about donating life and having a good time. And then, it's always the patriots who do shit like this. Dean in particular, boring Dean. He's writing out questions like, now that you have Eric's kidney, is it now making your nose huge? Which isn't really a bad joke. I'm just like, oh, God. Fucking, I don't know. Worlds colliding there. It was all just kind of weird. I just felt bad. Tom Steele was enjoying that live stream, and he goes like, Dean, come on. It's brutal. So I didn't say anything because I was just kind of like trying to focus on the task at hand. This is a serious conversation. Fucking Dean's being an asshole. Thanks, you stupid dick. All right. So there you go. There's that. And then, of course, I'm on YouTube. If you could also subscribe on YouTube, Eric Zane Show on YouTube. That's brought to you by F45 in Byron Center, Michigan. F45training.com/Byron Center. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell notification. Thumbs up. I'm on Instagram. We did Instagram Instant Trivia yesterday. Eric Zane Show on Instagram. Thank you to the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. I might have 2 new viewers/listeners to either the audio podcast or the live stream. There's a couple of nice people that I met yesterday. I had a really wonderful evening last night with some awesome fellowship. I never really like to talk about what goes on during the ins and outs of an anonymous 12-step meeting. That is all very, very private. But as you know, I've just recently become very, very active in the 12-step program, which is part of the program. You're providing a helping hand to those that are struggling in the program or maybe new in the program. And that's how it works. It's always worked that way. It was a very, very beautiful thing that happened many, many years ago when um, a person who is struggling with alcohol figured out that talking about these things and creating Alcoholics Anonymous, that it had an unbelievably effective a way of curing alcoholism and any type of addiction. So there you go. That's how there's a long story about how that all started, and it's really, really fascinating. I just love it. So, that's continued to this day. There hasn't been any changes really and modifications to it. It's just been wash, rinse, repeat, but keep coming back, all that great stuff. So, being in the program right now, trying to help Jason along, I'm meeting a lot of great new people, and oh my God, I just love them. I had some amazing things that happened before and after we actually got into the inner workings of the meeting, which, as you know, is very very anonymous. But these two gentlemen, I talk as much as I can in these things, and I try to do what I can to add to it, and this happens quite often, actually, as being that it is a very public thing that I do and have for many, many years. People recognize a voice. So that happened yesterday, and this nice gentleman comes up to me afterwards and goes, "Hey, you know what?" He actually says, he goes, "Hey, you sound like you got a voice for the radio." And I'm like, "Yeah, I was on radio forever. I had long history of that." And then he's like, all the puzzle pieces are going together in his brain, and I have a nice interaction with him and another gentleman, and so they had no idea that this was a thing. So there's a pretty good chance that they're hearing these words either live or in recorded form on the audio podcast, or maybe on the replay of the Facebook or Twitter or YouTube video. So welcome and thank you. And I'm thinking about you. I'm praying for you. And together, man, we can move mountains. So thank you so much. So something else really, really fantastic happened yesterday. I was witness to an incredible story that I was so captivated by, and it involves, a gentleman who I talk to quite frequently in this same setting that I was just describing to you. He had the most wonderful thing happen to him, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is absolutely incredible." He was explaining to me that a little bit of background, like 44 years ago in the 1970s, he was a very young man in the military, and he was in South Korea. And this gentleman fell in love. I just heard this story yesterday, and he's blown away when he's telling it to me because it's happening right now to him, right now as we speak. And it's just one of those God things, because, as you know, I bring a lot of the things in my life. It comes around to God, and this guy is maintaining that good things have happened to him because of his efforts to get sober. And so I'm like, absolutely, man, that's what it's all about. This is so beautiful. So this is before the meeting even got started. So I say this, I can relay this story and keep the names out of it and all that stuff, but it's just awesome. And I just couldn't wait to share it with you, because he says to me, so when he was a young man in his early 20s, and he falls in love with a lady in South Korea, okay? And they do what people do when they fall in love, And, the young lady gets pregnant, and he marries her. He actually gets married in South Korea while he's doing his thing in the military. And so he's awaiting. He's got a wife now in South Korea, and it's him and his wife and a baby on the way. Well, I'm not really sure exactly how it went, but he ends up getting pulled out of there, comes back to the U.S., and then, okay, now I have to go back and get my wife. But there was all sorts of weird drama that made it so that he could not, because of his military status, and he has a long list of reasons why it couldn't happen. So this becomes a problem, and eventually he finally is able to get back there. And this, again, 1970s. He can't find her. He can't find her, and he looks high and low in the country, and he can't find his wife, and he can't find his daughter. So then he comes back to the U.S., and then more time passes. He goes back, and he's looking, and he can't find her. So imagine the torment, the awfulness of this. A woman you love and your child What has happened? No idea. I can't imagine that anguish. But you know where this is going. Imagine the joy when dude gets a phone call. He gets a phone call from his sister, okay? And the sister had someone reach out to him who she did one of these I think I'm going to do this now, by the way. I'm going to take the lead off this story, and I'm going to run out the ground ball, and who knows where this is going to take me. It'd probably be another adventure we can talk about in a few weeks, but someone in the world took one of those ancestry tests. I don't know if you spit in a tube or something like that, and then it compares it to other people, and it says you have relatives here, here, and here, and it really is remarkable how they do this now. This person reaches out to the sister of the guy who's telling me the story and says, yeah, I think I have a relative who is related. Are you? And then so the dynamic questions start being asked, and there's a dialogue established between this person, whoever this person is, and the sister of the dude that's telling me the story. And so lo and behold, after a few minutes of conversation, this sister is thinking, my God, I think I am communicating with the daughter of my brother, which would be this lady's niece. The baby is talking to the dude's sister. The baby is in her 40s now. And so the sister's, okay, hang on a second. I gotta call dude. She calls her brother, and she says, you're never gonna believe it. What have you been working for your whole life? I've been working to find my wife and my daughter. I found her. I got your daughter. By the end of the day, he's FaceTiming his freaking daughter. Holy shit. This guy's in his mid-60s. His daughter's in her 40s. It's her. And not only that, the daughter got adopted when she was 6 months old. The wife, the long-lost wife, put the baby up for adoption. It's this lady when she's 6 months old. Some couple in the U.S. adopts her, and she's raised in the U.S., and she has a life, and she has her own children. And so this guy, out of nowhere, the world drops in a daughter and grandkids. Here you go. And he's just, oh my gosh, the joy in this guy, he just cannot believe it. And so, that's pretty much it. He's speaking with these people, and every day his grandkids call him up. They've got like this, the grandkids are all in their 20s and teens, early 20s and teens. So can you imagine this? This is incredible. I was just floored by this story. I'm like, oh man, I'm so happy for you. So, without getting too much into it, he's like, these things don't happen to people when they're still drunk. Thank God I have been sober, because if I had been drunk or something like that, I would never have had, I just don't feel like anybody would have even reached out. I probably wouldn't even have picked up the phone because I'd have been too drunk, he says. I'm like, oh my God, I love you so much, man. What a thing. I cannot wait to get an update on this. Holy crap. I want to, Kenny says, so what happened exactly? Where did the wife go? Don't know. I don't know about that. I have no idea. All I know is that he found the daughter, and how cool is that? Oh, just love that. Could not wait to get her and tell you that story. Holy crap. Breathtaking story. Speaking of breath, here in the house, okay, whenever the NFK is awake, my brother-in-law, Kevin, every 5 minutes, he's yawning. Huge yawn. And I'm like, what is up with that? Well, when he was getting his physical, first of all, leading up to it, I go, hey, Kevin, I'm going to tell the doctor about you yawning all the time. And he's like, what the fuck are you talking about? What do you mean I don't yawn? I don't yawn. What do you? I go, yeah, Kevin, you yawn all the time. And he gets pissed at me, of course, says to his sister, hey, do I yawn? She goes, yeah, you yawn a lot. You yawn all day. I think I figured it out. When we were at the docks for the physical, I mentioned that. And for some reason, when I mentioned that, he gets pissed at me. And I'm like, why do you get pissed at me? You realize I'm not like telling on you. I'm trying to help you. Would you please get it through your skull that I'm on your team? Is that possible? Can we get that? I'm not doing this to try to get you in trouble. All right. Lower the defense mechanism. Decrease the heat on the kettle, for God's sake. It's okay. And the doc says, maybe it's sleep apnea. So some of you know exactly what this is all about. Some of you live with this on a day-to-day basis. You stop breathing when you're sleeping. So what's going on there is when you stop breathing, then your body wakes you up. And then you're all of a sudden you're not in deep REM sleep anymore, and then you dip back into it until it happens again, and the cycle continues the whole night. Okay, where people who don't snore and have all these mechanisms trying to stop their breathing during the night, they dip into the normal REM sleep when your brain is recovering and all these little, small, minute things are happening that recharge you for the day. And then the day starts and you have all the energy that you could possibly have like a normal person. And then you go back to bed and recharge. And then that's it. You don't sit there and fall asleep while you're working, fall asleep while you're driving. You don't, if you don't sleep at night, your body is going to put you asleep. So you have no energy. You're like, oh, God, I need a nap. For some of you, I know Kenny experiences this on a regular basis. This is a serious damn thing here. This is no fun. I'll tell you that right now. So the NFK, I suspect, is going through this right now. Okay? And last night, I'm walking up the steps, and I hear the snoring. And I go, I'm going to investigate this a little bit. So I'm at his door. The door is closed in his room, and I can hear shit, fuck. Motherfucker, shit, fuck. Son of a bitch, motherfucker, shit, fuck. And I'm like, okay, I gotta time. I got to hit a timer on this. So I open up the stopwatch and I hit go. And so he'll do a deep, and then I won't hear anything, nothing. So, and then occasionally I hear just an actual breath. I think he's breathing actual breaths of air about 3 times a minute, which is way low. And I don't think he has any idea about this. So now, oh, man, I don't even want to begin to think what it's going to be like to bring this up with him. Because a lot of the times because that can kill you. Sleep apnea can kill you. You can be not breathing. And if you're in a weakened state, all of a sudden you're going to have a freaking widowmaker while you're asleep, and boom, done. A little bit concerned about that. He said something the other day. Oh, yeah, I talked to you about it. It was when he was watching those science shows. I go, oh, my God, these shows are great. I love these. He goes, yeah, man, I love these motherfuckers. Oh, Jesus, come on, man. So a little bit worried about that. There's a device. I forget what I talked about it on the Patreon where I think they install something in your face, and then you have a remote control, and you just push a button, and then you breathe. And I don't know. I keep promising myself that I'm going to look it up to see what it is, so that the advertising for it has these people sitting around in like a group session therapy for sleep apnea patients. And they all have these huge masks on with hoses coming out of them, which is what people have to deal with on a regular basis when they have sleep apnea. It's terrible. And they're like, all right, this is the meeting of the apnea mask. Hey, where's your mask? I don't need one. What? Well, I got this thing. He holds up thing. He pushes a button. And he's like, I can breathe. Oh, my God. That's a game changer. Invest in that company right now. So, all right. I got that on my brain right now. I see a lot of conversation going on in the live stream. I see Tony Gebhardt is here from beautiful Alaska. He says, good morning, fam. Second shot has got me sick and paralyzed this morning. Oh, no. Geez. Maze says sleep apnea really bad on your heart. Yeah, because you're exactly right, man. There's no air going, there's no oxygen going to that thing. It doesn't like it. And then Maze backs it up with, yep, implants now that supposedly do the same as the masks. I looked into the internal one, not covered by insurance. Bummer, not cool. I don't like that at all. Should be. A lot of that, why is it, I'm not sure why it is, but a lot of people, a lot of times if you gain weight, you sleep apnea goes with like weight gain, and I'm not really sure why that is. Is it because the mechanism that take place in a snore, skin folds, do they actually get puffy and fat? I mean, if your face and head and body are getting fat, does the stuff inside of your neck and face actually get fat too and all porky, and that's what's happening there? Is that what's going on? Really strange. I feel bad for people that struggle with this. My God. Terrible. Okay. Yesterday, another incredibly busy day, and I went back out in my never-ending quest to try to get in shape and headed out to the favorite place to do that, and that is the old school track, running laps around the track. All right. So going around the track usually doesn't, I'm usually pretty quiet, usually don't have too many conversations, but from time to time, if there's someone out there, I will say hello or ask a question or something like that. And more often than not, it leads to something interesting. I'm not really sure what to think about this, but there was two things that are kind of mystifying me right now. And the first was, okay, at this high school, they're getting ready for track season. Here in Michigan, this is what we do. People have rallies at the Capitol, and they say, if we don't let kids play sports, we're all going to die. And then, so isn't that the stupidest thing in the world? So then they let all the kids play sports, and now everybody's going to die. So what happened? Yeah, let them play my ass. Anyway, they're setting up for track season, which if the COVID doesn't kill you, the boredom will. All right. They've got all the gear set up, and there's like a little clinic going on of like kids learning how to do the high jump, and they got the thing set up, and they're practicing the high jump, and I'm like, oh, that's good. The kids are out, and there's like a dad there watching, and so I'm doing my thing on the running the laps, and then this dad, he looks to be about, I don't know, 35, 40, maybe a little younger. And as I'm running, I'm doing the very last thing I want to do. And this guy says to me, he goes, hey, how many more laps you going to do? And I go, and I'm kind of working pretty hard at this point. I'm finishing up. It's the last lap of what I want to do. And this, I'm doing like half-mile repeats. So I do the first lap, 2 laps is a half. And I'm going into the last lap around the track, last quarter mile, and I'm working. And he goes, hey, how many more laps you got? And I go, 1. And he goes, oh. And I'm like, what the fuck was that? What? That was a disappointed. Oh. I'm like, what is he doing there? So for that last lap, I'm like, why did that happen? What is he getting at with, are you enjoying watching me run at a slow pace and seeing my gut bounce? Is it, and then as I'm wrapping up, I finish, and now I grab my keys, grab my phone, grab my headphones. I'm walking off the track. He's now running around the track. I, for the life of me, cannot figure out what he wanted. And I thought, in the back of my head, I was like, is this going to be the guy who says, hey, man, you want to race? Is that what was going on there? Or maybe he wanted to make a friend, perhaps? That's probably it. Maybe he was like, hey, yeah, I'll run with you, which would be very friendly to do. It'd be awkward as hell, but You never know. People where I live are either really racist and stupid or friendly. So, all right. Okay, that happened. Hold on a second. Daisy, don't do that. Daisy's licking Bruce's back, which I know where this is going to go. Yesterday on the show, she started actually licking his wiener, and it happened. He was laying on his back sleeping, and Daisy walked up and actually did that. I don't do that. Makes a horrible noise. Marcy says, "Did you just call me fat? LOL." I get. Fuck. How would I have called you fat if I said you're? Well, I don't know. I was just when I was describing it, what people who typically people who are a little porky have apnea. Do you have sleep apnea? Are you a little porky? Is that what I need to ask you? Is that what's going on? I didn't mean to do that. I mean, Jesus. No, I don't think I called you fat. I just said that at some point. Oh shit! I didn't want to get into it. It's my mistake for even looking at the damn comments. He didn't want to run on the track at the same time as you because he doesn't want to catch your COVID. LOL. Yeah, I don't have COVID. COVID. I don't have COVID. Jesus. Okay. But prior to that, wait a minute. No, that happened. That actually happened. That was the last thing that happened. But prior to that, something else happened, but was actually of more oddness. As I'm running around the track, excuse me, I noticed two guys are in the bleachers going up and down the bleachers, okay? On the bleachers, going up and down the bleachers. And they have backpacks, all right? And they look like they're really working. And those backpacks are loaded down, no doubt, with something pretty heavy in them. So what would you think is going on there? My first thought was these guys are preparing themselves for some type of military effort, right? Like, maybe they've decided to sign on the dotted line. They're going to serve our country, and in a few months, or maybe they're preparing for some type of physical test to get into the military or something like that. You see that. So they're young. They're walking up and down heavy loaded hiking backpacks, and they're working. And my first thought was that. And then my second thought was, or maybe they're preparing to maybe something else. Maybe it's hiking the Appalachian Trail or something like that. First thought was military. This has got to be a military thing. So they're done with their workout. They're now recovering. One guy's doing push-ups though, and they're all still kind of just finishing up, and they're all in one spot. And I come around the track, and I go, "Are you guys going into the military or something?" "No, we're training." I go, "Yeah? For what? Football?" Maybe they're getting their heart and lungs ready or something like that. And no, hunting season. I'm like, wait, what? They're training for hunting season. Now, I don't know shit about hunting, but I'm pretty sure hunting season is like in the fall, right? Like November. And okay, so there's that. And also, what the fuck do you need to train for hunting season? I mean, I don't know. If you kill a deer, are you going to throw it on your back and then you have to get it out of the woods? I guess, but do you really need to fucking train for it? What the hell? I'm training for hunting season. Only in this, where I live, like I said, you don't have to go far until until you get to like some of the biggest hill rod communities in the whole world. I am surrounded by hillbillies. All right. Theron says both seasons October 1. All right, so that's not November. So still, here we are in, April. So that means May, June, July, August, September. You're half a year away from hunting season. Okay. Only where I live would I encounter white guys with farmer tans listening to Nickelback and fucking Theory of a Deadman on their phones as they walk up and down getting ready for fucking hunting season. That would only happen here. Scott says people go out west to the Rockies and backpack in and out, carry everything in, carry everything out, carry out your harvest. All right, I guess, but I don't know. Probably going west for elk or Alaska for moose, lots of mountains, carrying gear, etc. All right, maybe. But then something happened too, and I think, I don't know why this happens, but this isn't the first time this has happened. There's three guys, and when the one guy says hunting season, I respond with, oh, wow, okay, yeah. Like I know that, I'm like, oh yeah, shit, of course, hunting season, and I'm still running now. Now I'm past them, and I'm actually looking back. And then the one guy says it while another guy is talking, but I still heard it. He says, we should carry you on our back. And he said that. And I'm like, did he? Wait. And so you never like get in a conversation where there's like two people talking and you answer the one, but the other one said something that you actually heard. So the other guy says something and I go, yeah, right. Okay. At the same time that the guy goes, we should be carrying you. And I'm like, what did that guy just fucking say that? What the hell just happened? So I'm now running away, and I'm like, should I stop and ask him what the fuck was that? But, at that point, then what am I going to do? What if he says, yeah, I was talking about you, you stupid fat idiot. What are you going to do about it? Then I'm like, oh no. Then I'm going to skulk away. I'm going to end up bitching out on the whole thing. If I do say, hey, did you just say you're going to carry me out? What exactly did you mean by that? So I figured I better not say anything for fear of getting my ass kicked. But yeah, he said that. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? It is not the first time that I have had an incident on a track, which just started as a simple conversation. When I used to live just a few miles down the road, there's another track at another high school that I went to. And this is back years ago when I was working on the radio. And I'll never forget this because the exact same scenario was taking place. And there was young people playing catch with the football. And I don't know what got into this kid at the time, but for some reason, he thought it would be a good idea to throw the football at me. And as legit as a heart attack, he is sitting on those bleachers that are going along the straightaway of the track, and they're like taking a break, and they're sitting down. And at the exact point that I get right behind this kid, he throws the football over his head at me, and he hits me with the football. Holy shit. Now, this qualifies as just dumb things kids do, but apparently I am a magnet for being fucking bullied or some shit, or people like fucking with me. So, on the track, this actually happened. So I was like, hey, what the fuck? So I like, hey, what the fuck are you doing? And this is all stupid, and nothing really happens between us again. I end up trying to confront them, which was also a stupid idea. What the hell am I going to do? Just so dumb. Well, then I go to the radio station. I tell this story. These idiots hear the story on the radio, and they're probably going to hear this one too. And this is all going to happen all over again. They then figure out where I live. Okay. And they like toilet paper my house, and they make a complete bitch out of me. Spray shaving cream on the door. Aha, we got you. And they light off fireworks and throw them on my front lawn. And total bullshit. I'm like, and I remember the fireworks going off, and then jumping out of bed and running out down the street after them. This actually happened. I'm running down the street after them, and they're going, "Ah, stupid old man, fuck you." Oh, my God. Turns out they were actually 1 year where they had just finished high school, so they're not even in the school anymore. I somehow found out who these kids were and tried to, tell their parents or some shit. It was all just stupid. It was so dumb. And so I guess I think I am an asshole magnet. I think that's what this is. People just like fucking with me. So the guy says, yeah, we're going to carry you. Like, what the fuck what happened? Why? Oh my God. So, all right. That was kind of like my day yesterday. It was a very, very involved day. All right. Joey says, Eric, just stop going to the track. No, I like it there, man. All right. I would have taken the football and punted it in the opposite direction. I might have. I don't recall. A lot of the details are foggy now. All right. I think Joey is butthurt also because I made fun of Nickelback and Theory of a Deadman. Well, yeah, I listened to those bands too. He goes, what's wrong with them? Nothing, but they're butt rock. They're absolutely butt rock. What's wrong with butt rock? If you like butt rock, so what? You like butt rock and you like wrestling. Who cares? You like butt rock, wrestling, and bad haircuts. Everybody knows that. All right. Oh, my gosh. Okay, hey, I want to help your business. Reach out to me, Eric at ericzaneshow.com, and I can do just that. Tell you how it works. Say, hey, Zane, I see a lot of signs behind you, which, by the way, if you guys want to take bets on the Bennett flooring sign and the Horizon hydroponic sign, they fell yesterday because it got a little humid in here. So you can take a bet on the time that they're going to fall today. And whoever's closest wins the money. If they fall, you're going to laugh. So stupid. So reach out to me, Eric at ericzaneshow.com. And I can tell you exactly what's going on in the Eric Zane Show podcast and how it works. I would love to help you in your business. The live streaming of the show is brought to you by our pal Throat/Dale, Superior Cleaning and Power Washing. This is what Dale does in his business. First of all, he cleans restaurants. If you have a restaurant and you want it clean, customers go home, employees go home, in come the cleaning crew for the overnight. That's what Dale does. Reach out to Superior Cleaning and Power Washing. Two arms on the business. Restaurant cleaning and obviously power washing. Call Dale at 231-740-4098. 231-740-4098. If he starts talking too fast, just say, hey, ease up. Ease up. Slow down. You also can power wash your deck, your house, whatever it may be, your decorative stone and your landscaping, and make it look like it did the day you bought it. Have somebody do that for you. It's a lot of work to power wash a home, and you want your weekend, so have Dale do it. 231-740-4098. He's going to show up at your house and give you an estimate. Don't skip that. Power wash the home with Throat/Dale. 231-740-4098. Thanks again to my friends at Gift of Life Michigan for making me an ambassador of all of their initiatives and telling you about them. If you go to ericzaneshow.com, click on the Gift of Life logo on my sponsor scroll, it will take you to a page with a lot of great information about how you can help, and you can be a donor through Gift of Life Michigan. You can also do it through your local government agency or whatever. There's plenty of places in the state that you live in that can make that happen, so that they know that in the event that you pass away, your organs can then be quickly harvested and then save the lives of up to 8 people because of what is inside of you. You can't take it with you, for crying out loud. So please support Gift of Life Michigan, and thank you so much. Okay. My friends at Prince Arming say, all right, it's time to finally take the class for your CPL. If you've always wanted to carry your pistol concealed, the first thing to do, and you don't even need to own a pistol. You're like, hey, I just want to take the class so that I can when I'm ready. You need to do this through retired U.S. Army Major Steve Prince. Class is coming up in, let's see. We got one April 14th and the 17th. That's a Wednesday, Saturday deal. It's going to cost you $125. Start the class work Wednesday evening, finish it up on Saturday morning, April 14th and April 17th. Then May 17th and May 19th. That's a Monday, Wednesday, ladies-only class. Then May 24th, May 26th, another 2-day adventure with Prince Army. If you want more information, reach out to Steve Prince. You can go to his website, princearming.com. You can also call him at 616-204-1705. Sign up, $125. Once you get the certification, you can then apply for your pistol license. Before you know it, your license is in the mail, and you've got your pistol license. You can carry that thing concealed. Okay, believe it or not, I got to take a break. It is it's one of those days where my little teeny tiny bladder is saying, "Help me, I gotta go. You gotta go, do that." Okay, so this is what I'm gonna do. Back in a minute, taking a pee, and listen to this. Okay, I'll be right back. Pedofade. There is no way I wash my hands there. Nope. Just skipped it. Wanted to get back here. Getting back to snoring. I am really triggered by it. I just cannot handle it. There are people who can sleep while a person is snoring. That is not me. Daisy, if she's in the same room, I have to leave or kick her out or something down. Like, no, you get out. Daisy stays here. If I have to put in, like, if the NFK and I go up north and we're sleeping in the camper, it's like I have to have 3 fans in the room to cover up the sound of him. And I have to put earplugs in. It's unbelievable. Oh my God. Back in the day and on the radio, Freebeer used to snore. We used to stay in the same room when we do those market visits. And oh my God. Actually, it was one time we were in, I think it was San Antonio or something like that. And I think it was one of those stupid radio conferences. And dude started snoring. And I said to him, I go, yeah, I was up the whole night. In fact, I would wake him up. And then he'd look at me like I'm crazy. And then he'd go back to bed. And then the next morning, he didn't even remember me waking him up. So I was like, Jesus, I wanted to sleep in the bathtub. It was horrible. Absolutely horrible. You have my sympathy if you're married to a person who snores. All right. Okay, the latest on this dude, Deshaun Watson. He is the quarterback for the Texans. Like a month and a half ago, the only thing on this guy's mind was he wanted to be traded to another team. Okay, that was like the biggest thing that he was worried about. And then one by one, accusations started to fly at him from massage therapists. And then with every one that would come out, there'd be another one right behind it. People were getting emboldened and saying, all right, yeah. And there's one guy who's an attorney, I think his name is Tony Busby, who is representing every single one of these women. All right. I think there is one criminal investigation that is ongoing with this, too, based on one of the complaints. But holy crap, this is getting ugly. 22 women have now said, yeah, he tried to get me to touch his penis. And now, in addition to that, there's 18 other masseuses, or what do you say, masseuses, massage therapists, whatever. There's 18 other massage therapists who say, oh, no, he was great with me. So what the hell is going on? Two of the women accusing him came forward publicly on Tuesday, according to this. Stand by. They were offering further details about the alleged interactions with him and what they describe as the terror he caused. 22 women have accused Watson of civil assault, sexual assault, or intentional infliction of emotional distress in recent weeks, in which Watson has denied. Ashley Solis, the first woman to file a lawsuit against him, was crying, told reporters Tuesday that her work as a massage therapist has been forever tainted by Watson's alleged conduct. Deshaun Watson assaulted and harassed me on March 30th, 2020 in my own home, doing what I love most, massage therapy, Solis said. I replay the incident over and over in my head as if I'm trying to wake up from some horrible nightmare, only that nightmare is real. In the lawsuit, Solis alleges that Watson intentionally exposed himself during the massage and repeatedly tried to direct her to his penis before purposely touching her hand with his penis. So I guess, she's like up here, and he's like, yeah, if you move it 1 inch from my neck, you can touch my penis. So yeah, right, whatever. And then she's like, no, I don't want to touch your penis. So then he's like grabbing his penis and like banging it against her. When she started crying, and then she asked him to leave, Watson allegedly responded with, quote, I know you have a career and a reputation, and I know you would hate for someone to mess with yours, just like I don't want anyone messing with mine. Ugh. This is ugly. Solis said she struggled to keep working in the industry after her encounter with Watson, said she suffered from panic attacks and anxiety and depression. I can no longer practice the profession I love the most without shaking during a session, she said. My hands shake whenever I place them on a client, and I have to cut the session short. Second accuser did not attend the press conference, but was identified as Lauren Baxley. An attorney read a letter Baxley wrote to Watson during the encounter in which Baxley alleged that Watson exposed himself during a massage and touched her hand with his crank. Phew. Every boundary between professional and therapeutic to sexual and degrading you crossed or attempted to cross, Baxley wrote in her letter, saying, you have deeply and irreversibly brought terror to me and others. All right. So one attorney representing all 22 women, two of whom are suing Watson for sexual assault. One woman alleged that Watson forced her to perform oral sex on him. My God. The other said she forced her to perform oral sex on him, wrapped his legs around her neck, and told her to perform more sexual acts during a massage in August 2020. The other 20 women, all of whom work in the health and wellness industry, have alleged what Busby described Tuesday as a strikingly similar pattern of conduct during incidents in 2020 and 2021. My God. After the Tuesday press conference, this is all terrible. It sounds awful. But, I think pretty much in this day and age, you better be able to provide proof other than just a group of people saying the same thing. I'm just playing devil's advocate here. If it's their word against his word, I would say that their word has as much impact as his word, right? I mean, if it's just two people talking, and yeah, it looks weird that a bunch of people are saying that, and that always looks weird. But if you want to convict somebody of something or of get a civil judgment in your favor in this case, unless if there is ever a criminal investigation that warrants him to actually be arrested, I don't know if. I mean, shit. I can say I can say that fucking Patriot Nick sexually assaulted me, and he could say all day that he enjoyed it or that he did not, But unless I have proof of Patriot Nick trying to force me to give him a hand job, there's no way I'm going to be able to get that judgment. After the press conference, Busby released screenshots appearing to show Watson communicating with alleged victims over Instagram. In one screenshot, Watson appeared to tell a woman she could perform the massage in a sports bra and tight shorts. Okay, so that's proving that that is kind of weird, but I don't know if that proves that he was banging his penis against him. In another, he appeared to apologize after a massage occurred, writing, "Sorry about you feeling uncomfortable. Never were the intentions. Let me know if you want to work in the future. My apologies." CBS has not confirmed the authenticity of the screenshots, but again, it doesn't say, "I'm sorry about me banging my 15-inch penis against your hand." Okay? Watson's attorney, Rusty Hardin, condemned the false allegations in this avalanche of anonymous lawsuits in a statement to CBS News last week and said his team would respond more fully to the claims in the coming weeks. Hardin previously called the first 7 allegations meritless and said any allegation that Deshaun forced a woman to commit a sexual act is completely false. Hardin also released what he said were a series of emails on Tuesday, apparently from Busby and his associate, Cornelia Branfield Harvey, seeking a $100,000 settlement from Scott Gaffield, another of Watson's attorneys, the month before the lawsuit from Solis was filed. The February emails asked to plan a mediation and schedule a phone call. In a later email, Branfield Harvey demands a $100,000 settlement in Solis's case. Okay, so they're asking for money. They're saying, "Give us money and this will all go away." How does that look? One attorney representing all these women, he said, she said. I think that you need to take these accusations that are being made about Deshaun Watson very seriously, and I think you need to take his response of defense very seriously. Did he do it? Do I think he did it? I don't think there's enough here for me to say one way or the other. I don't know if I'd feel comfortable saying that. Does it look terrible? Well, hell yeah, it looks terrible. Gaffield asked for the rationale for the $100,000 figure, writing, "We don't believe that the alleged facts show that Deshaun did anything wrong with regards to Ms. Solis, but we are nevertheless happy to continue the conversation about a reasonable settlement figure because we believe he can learn a lesson about having put himself in this situation." Well, that's weird. I'll tell you this right now. If anybody accuses me of anything, there is no way in hell I am ever going to admit it or whatever, or have a settlement or anything like that. I'm just going to fucking die on the hill if I didn't do it. So that to me does look a little bit weird. If you're willing to pay off somebody to go away, I always have a bad feeling about that. "We made a legit demand. You rejected it," Branfield Harvey replied. "We won't be making another bid, or bid against ourselves." My email exchanges with Mr. Busby and Ms. Branfield Harvey were very clear. Gaffield said in a statement provided to CBS News by Hardin on Tuesday, "We did not think that the facts showed that Deshaun did anything wrong with their client. We believed then and fully believe now that Deshaun learned a lesson about putting himself in this type of situation by interacting with people he does not know." The NFL is investigating. And the Texans said last month that the team will stay in close contact with the league and will continue to take this and all matters involving anyone with the Houston Texans organization seriously. And then there's players that are saying, why the hell does he have 40 masseuses? One NFL player, some guy I never heard of, said, yeah, that is weird. Former NFL offensive lineman Jermon Bushrod is a bit confused as to why so many masseuses have worked with Watson this early in his career. He says, yeah, you don't really like that. He goes, I had played for 12 years, and I think I had half of that number throughout my whole career. So there's that. I mean, does he really need 40 different massage therapists? I mean, it's kind of weird. I mean, you kind of want to stick with one. I don't know. Does that mean, though, that he banged his penis against them? You can't say. I don't know. I don't know what kind of evidence they have against him that they're hanging over his head, but we shall see. Sure does look weird. I have to admit that, but I can't say for sure. Neither can you. I want to. Trust me, I want to. But in order to prove that, you gotta have a smoking gun. Holy shit. Joey says, here's the thing. None of this shit ever came up until the Carolina Panthers were very close to making a trade for Watson. The Texans owner, who is neighbors with the attorney representing the women, is pissed that Watson wants out of Houston. That is a very rich conspiracy theory. Come on. Not happy with Theron, who writes, next story, and then he follows it up with a comment. Yeah, it looks terrible when they said, give us money and it will go away. Well, I thought you wanted next story. Nothing pisses me off worse when people do that. All right. And then Dean says, everyone should be innocent until proven guilty in a court of law, except you. All right. Okay. I am on Cameo, and I want you on there. Cameo.com/Eric Zane. Just reach out to me, Cameo.com/Eric Zane, and I will do a cameo for you. Mother's Day is coming. Oh, my gosh. I want to do a cameo for your mom. Wouldn't that be fun? Do it for the mom or the mother of the kids. Cameo.com/Eric Zane. Just keep that in mind. Anybody has a birthday coming, maybe they need congratulations. Maybe you got a friend who needs to be roasted. Hire me on Cameo. Joe Martinez says, hire him to get the air conditioning tuned up. Just $69. Normally this is $79, but for the month of April, this is a special. He's going to save you an additional $10. Now that $79 is already cheaper than everybody else in the business. $69 is, well, it's $10 cheaper. So save yourself the $10 and reach out to Joe, 616-516-8579. Schedule it now. Call him right this very minute. Okay, pause the podcast. Call up Joe and say, get to my house. Let's set a date right now, 616-516-8579 for A&E Heating and Cooling. Time to talk fun. Time to talk Cornhole America. You like throwing the bags? Cornhole America. You need a great set of professional grade, professionally made cornhole boards. This business out of Cedar Springs, Cedar Springs, Michigan, and serving people all around the United States and all around the world, started from one man's idea at a party. His name is Jason Duflo. In fact, I'm going to have Jason on a podcast today at around 11 o'clock as he is at something cornhole related in Iowa. Duflo is going to be on the show, and I'm going to get a little bit more of the background and share with you about how he started his business. So it just started out as an idea for this guy, and then he built a couple sets of boards years ago. People liked him, word of mouth. Before you know it, he's hand painting the boards. Now it's just a complete network of awesomeness. He's got 2 CNC machines going, a handful of workers that are taking the parts, constructing the boards, putting the vinyl on them, building the bags, custom making the bags. Oh, my God. Get a set of quality, high-grade cornhole boards, cornholeamerica.com. Thank you, Jason and the crew at Cornhole America. You can even get Eric Zane Show podcast cornhole boards when you click on their link in the sponsor scroll or just search my name in the search field at cornholeamerica.com. Hey, got a car dealership of choice that I want you to check out. It is Sarah Honda Granville. They are in Granville, Michigan, of course, on Kennewa, right next to the old Cracker Barrel, across the street from the car wash. Terrific campus of new, certified pre-owned, used cars, all in one place. Go search for a Honda today, or search them online, sarahhondagranville.com. You can shop online if that's what you want. Whatever you do, please mention my name, Eric Zane, that you heard about them on my show. Thank you very much. sarahhondagranville.com. Hondas run forever, by the way. If you have one, the resale value on these it's not going to be like on other cars because they just run forever. I'm so happy with my Honda products that when it came to my daughter Madison, she just needed a car to get to and from school. Okay. I went and bought a used Honda, and it had 140,000 miles on it. And I go, perfect. It'll go another 140,000. Absolutely incredible. Great cars. sarahhondagranville.com. Okay, I got one more story about a football player that you've never heard of. Deshaun Watson, you've heard of. Travis Richards is a hockey player, used to play for the Griffins. Travis Rudolph is actually a former player who, I mean, seriously, just a handful of years ago, talk about an incredibly promising career. All right. And this guy apparently could do, seriously, he played at Florida State, and he was a very highly recruited player out of Florida State. And in fact, he kind of rewrote the record books at Florida State. I think he left that school early as like their all-time leading receiver for the Florida State Seminoles. And not only was this guy great at that, but he is also a wonderful human being off the field, because he went viral back in 2016, in the summer of August 2016, when he showed up to an event associated with a school, okay? And it was like a couple of players are doing some outreach in the community. So Travis Rudolph was all about this, because he brought tears to the eyes of a mother and people around the world when a picture was taken. Well, all the other kids are sitting there around the other Florida State football players. Travis Rudolph realized that there was one young student, school-age kid, who no one wanted to sit by. And everybody bullied the shit out of this kid. He's autistic, and because he's a little bit different than everybody else, you know, kids can be dicks. They're treating this kid like shit, and he's sitting all alone. And he noticed him. So he goes up to him and he says, "Hey, how are you? I'm Travis Rudolph. I play for Florida." And the kid says, "I know who you are." And so then they kind of struck up a relationship, and oh my God, it was absolutely incredible. The mom wrote several times lately, "I've tried to remember my time in middle school. Did I like all my teachers? Do I even remember them?" And she does this long, drawn-out post about the kid and how Travis Rudolph reached out to him and how sweet he is. Travis Rudolph is absolutely amazing. He also made a comment about how blessed he is to be able to have that opportunity to spend time with this kid. And so, I mean, sky is the limit for Travis Rudolph. But then for some reason, I don't know what it is, Travis Rudolph, with all of this upside, he does not get drafted. Okay? Boy, I wonder what's going on with that. How in the world could he, with all of this upside, not be drafted? Strange. Well, Rudolph ended up signing as a free agent with the New York Giants. After his junior season, he decided to come out, make himself eligible for the NFL draft. And so a lot of the times when you do that, you go to the combine, you might interact with players, you might interact with coaches. They interview you. They make you take a test called the Wonderlic test, which determines if you're stupid or crazy or whatever. And after his junior season, he declared for the 2017 NFL draft, but nobody picked him. Not one. And This was after he just tore it up in the college game. How could you possibly let this slide? What happened? It must have been a fluke, right? He went to the Giants as an undrafted free agent. Okay, fine. Now, okay, he's going to be one of these guys. He's going to just take off a gem found in the rough, diamond in the rough. No one says gem in the rough, diamond in the rough. All right. In that year, he caught 8 passes for 101 yards. Never really found his place with the Giants. Something was amiss. He then played for the Dolphins for a little bit, and then that didn't work out. So then he goes to the Canadian Football League, and he plays for some team in Canada. And now he's in jail for murder. Okay. Yeah, I'm guessing that he can do everything with a football except autograph it. And he's a maniac because I'm looking at old Travis's mugshot right now. He was arrested and charged with first-degree murder and attempted first-degree murder, according to a release from the Palm Beach County, Florida Sheriff's Office. Wednesday morning, cops responded to a shooting. When they arrived on the scene, they learned one guy had been transported to the hospital, another was dead. Deputies identified Rudolph as the suspect. They found him, arrested him, took him to jail. He's being held without bond. He's making a court appearance today. 25 years old. Holy shit. Leading receiver for the Florida State Seminoles in 2015 and 2016. What the hell, dude? Come on. Who didn't? Somebody had to have seen that one coming. My God, Travis Rudolph. Finally, people know who you are, Travis, because you're being accused of killing somebody. Now, again, going back to Dean's point, innocent till proven guilty. We know that, but cops say he did it. Holy shit. This is weird. My God. Unbelievable. All right. Totally unrelated. There's a lot of assholes in the news today. There's a lot of candidates for asshole of the day. Be thinking about that. Have you ever heard of a Ponzi scheme? Who hasn't heard of a Ponzi scheme? Do you know what a Ponzi scheme is? A Ponzi scheme is actually named after a guy named Ponzi. I think his name is Charles Ponzi. Now, this had been done before in the past, but Charles Ponzi made it really famous. Okay? Back in like the 1920s. He's the guy who really put the Ponzi in Ponzi scheme. Modern day Ponzi scheme Hall of Fame is Bernie Madoff, who's still in jail today. He will be forever. He got 150 years. I think there's a documentary that I've watched called Chasing Madoff. Yeah. It is it's really, really good. It's a crime documentary about the uncovering, I think I got to watch it again, of how this guy, I mean, we're talking several $1 billion, Bernie Madoff, in his Ponzi scheme. And there was some whistleblower, Harry Markopoulos, who was the one who blew the lid off the whole thing. And, oh, my God, Bernie Madoff was really good at, convincing people that they needed to dump their money into him. And he had a track record of that allowed him to, through just word of mouth, be vetted. As soon as you heard the name Bernie Madoff, your money was going to Bernie Madoff. You were like, oh my God, I'm set for life. Bernie Madoff is allowing me to use his services. It was that extreme. So for decades, people give Bernie Madoff millions and billions of dollars, like these gigantic corporations and charities and individuals with a lot of money. So he then takes all of their money, and then he, let's say he's got 10 people that give, this is how the Ponzi scheme works too. 10 people that each give him $1 billion. Okay. And then he goes, all right, I'm going to go make you some money. And then 10 more people sign up to do the same exact thing. And then he takes a little bit of the money from the first batch, and right away he gives it to the second group of people and says, "Look, I made you all this money." And they go, "Holy shit, Bernie Madoff, look at you go." And he goes, "Yeah, I made you some money. So how about you give me some more money and I'll make you more?" So the second group gives him some more money. He gives it back to the first group, and the first group sees a return on their investment. They go, "Son of a bitch, look at you go. I'm going to give you more money." This fucking idiot does this over and over again, very effectively. So then he's going robbing Peter to pay Paul, robbing Peter to pay Paul. And that you just keep doing that over and over again. And actually, the Ponzi scheme can go forever as long as there isn't a lot of people that suddenly say, "Hey, I want out. I want all my money out." The second that happens, then you have to produce a lot of money. Let's say somebody gives you $1 billion, but you've been making them money and everything's been going good. And then they suddenly say, "You know what? I think I'm just going to ride off into the sunset and stuff my money into a mattress. Can I have my $1 billion back?" And then he's like, "Oh." So that can be a problem. Madoff had been doing this with the help of his brother and his kids, and I believe a daughter-in-law. One of his kids, 2 years after it was revealed, he killed himself. And there's all of these people close to him had to go to prison too, but not as long as Bernie Madoff. He'll never get out of prison. With Bernie, what happened with him was, as the financial markets in 2008, 2009, and 10, all of that, Wall Street started to get a little funky for a period of time there. So you had several people with money. They wanted their money back or moved. He was struggling to produce that money. So that was like red flags. And the story of, and then one of the other things you have to do when you're running a Ponzi scheme, it isn't just as simple as writing checks to each other. I guess you could if it was really stupid people, but Madoff actually had to create documents, real documents, to the people that are his customers and say, look at what your money's doing. And then, these things come in every month and it's all fake. It's all just smoke and mirrors. None of this is true. And, but the people don't know that. So they get swindled. Do you remember back in the day when, on the radio, when we used to call, Prince Fred, which was Zsa Zsa Gabor's. Remember the old school actor Zsa Zsa Gabor? She's dead now, but her husband was Prince Fred Van Alstad was his name, and we used to call Prince Fred all the time just because he was he was a really wild character, and he had a very thick Austrian accent, and he was fun to talk to. So we would talk to him. And he was the caregiver for Zsa Zsa. Well, that dude had a ton of cash, and he lost it to Bernie Madoff. One day we're talking, he goes, "You won't believe what happened. I lost all my fucking money to Bernie fucking Madoff. He was fucking robbed us. Holy fucking shit. What the fuck am I going to do now?" We're like, "Holy shit, you got scammed by Bernie Madoff." He goes, "Yes, that crazy son of a bitch. You fucking robbed us." Unbelievable. So Harry Markopoulos is the guy who he's looking at these numbers. This is all bullshit. This is fucking fake. So he blows the whistle on it, and the rest is history. You hear about these things from time to time, and this is a word to the wise. Be very, very careful about who you decide to give your money to. If it seems too good to be true, it really, really is. I gotta sneeze. Hang on. Oh, where's the sun? Uh-oh. You're thinking, what are you doing? I'm one of those people and the sneeze is gone, and that really feels terrible right now. Oh, hang on. I don't know about you, but if a sneeze gets trapped in my face like that, it's horrible. It's like when you're getting ready to jizz, and then you get distracted, and you're like, "Oh, God, it stopped. What happened?" Anyway, if I look at the sun, it brings out the sneeze. I know that sounds crazy, but to some of you, you know what I'm talking about. The rest of you are like, "What? Why do you look at the sun?" Yeah, I do that. And it's really weird. Okay, I forgot what I was going to say. If it's too good to be true, it is. There is it. I can't stress this enough, and this kind of is all tied into one story. I was having a conversation with my pal Jason, whom I'm a sponsor for, and one of the things that I'm also doing, in addition to trying to keep him sober and helping him along the way, is I'm talking to him about money. And you're thinking, Zane, what do you know about money? All you did was spend money. True, but I also learned something from that, and I learned that if you are smart enough to somehow do whatever it is that you need to do when you are even turn 18. They would never teach you this in a school, and this is mind-boggling to me that young people aren't taught this. If you decided to save $5,000 a year in an individual retirement account every year, from the time you turn 18 to the time you're set to retire at 60, whatever, it doesn't even have to be 60. It could be younger than that. Through the magic of compounding interest on investing your money wisely with actual reputable people through an individual retirement account, because of the time involved in that, you will retire a rich lady or a rich man, even while living a pauper's life throughout your life. Imagine that. $5,000 a year. What? How does that work? Do this. Investigate this. Talk to a reputable person about this exact thing and how this can work for you. I actually have a person that I work with. I wish I'd started earlier, but I didn't start saving my money until I was in my mid-40s. Okay? I'm fucked. But you don't have to be. If you're a young person, for God's sake, do whatever you have to do to save your money and invest it in an individual retirement account. I cannot stress this enough, okay? And for God's sake, don't ever fall for a get-rich-quick scheme like a fucking Ponzi scheme. If it seems too good to be true, it is, okay? There's all sorts of red flags if you just investigate a little bit. There's an actor by the name of Zach Avery. You've not heard of him. Okay? He's a small-time actor. And the reason why he's a small-time actor is because he spends most of his time running a Ponzi scheme. His real name is Zachary Horvitz. 34-year-old man. He acts under the name of Zach Avery. The Fed said, all you people that gave him $227 million, your money's probably gone. He's doing a Bernie Madoff. This guy promised investors that, hey, if you're investing with me, I'm going to make you some money. How? He solicited investments for his company, which he calls Lynn MM Capital LLC. He claimed he would use the funds that you give him to purchase regional distribution rights to films and then license the rights to online platforms such as Netflix and HBO. Sounded good to people that were like, you know a thing or two about Hollywood. This is what you do. You take somebody like a Bernie Madoff or a Zach Avery, and they have the ability to convince. They're manipulators. They're fucking dirty and really good at it, too, because they can tell you that the fucking moon is made out of blue buffalo shit, and they're so good at it that you're going to believe them. He's accused of telling investors that the rights were for films that the streaming companies had agreed to distribute abroad, particularly in Latin America. So he makes up a movie that doesn't exist and says, I want you to buy the rights to this film, and then Netflix and HBO are going to buy the rights to it. And this is an international film, or it's particularly going to be popular in Latin America. That's the audience they're shooting for. Give me money. And they did. And so then same thing that Bernie Madoff did. He'd get their money, and then he'd go to more people and convince them of the same thing, and then give them a return on their investment from the first group's batch of money, and then just keep going back and forth, ping pong game, back and forth. He provided, and this began in 2015, he provided promotional materials to investors that claimed that his company offered safe investments because, quote, we received confirmation from each of our outputs indicating their desire to acquire the rights to. So he would falsify everything. He would produce like a letter from Netflix or HBO and say, look, at Netflix just agreed to this. So look at this. I'm making all this. It's all just based on forged documents. shit that never has happened. Netflix has no idea about this. HBO has no idea about this. So all he needs to do this Ponzi scheme is the gift of gab and the ability to create documents. That is all. And then he just forges shit, signs it, sends it off, pays them a little bit of money on their investment from the other guys who are giving him money, and then that's it. Netflix has nothing to do with this shit. There are no movies that exist. HBO has nothing to do with it. So he just keeps going back and forth. Then he takes a lot of that money and makes himself rich. So he's going to take a little bit of that money and give it to this group, and then take a lot of your money, and he's going to do it to buy shit for him. The funds were used to repay previous investors and to bankroll his lifestyle, included the purchase of a $6 million home in Beverly Hills. Investors started to complain when the company began defaulting on notes in 2019, according to the criminal complaint. He did not quit, though. He kept doing the scheme. He forwarded fake correspondence from Netflix and HBO that gave excuses as to why the funds weren't available. So people are like, hey, yeah, I want to get out. I want to move on. He's like, oh, yeah, no, you can't. HBO and Netflix. And it's their fault. So then people would go to Netflix and HBO, and they're like, we don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Are you crazy? Netflix and HBO denied that they had anything to do with these people. This guy, Horvitz, told the United States magistrate judge that he understood the charge he's facing during an initial video hearing from the L.A. jail. The judge set bond at $1 million. He could not be reached for comment. His next court date is May 13th. 15 acting credits to his name, according to IMDb. Wait a minute. Was he? Hold on a second here. He was in Fury. The film Fury. I love the film Fury. Very, very small part. I think he played part of medic. So that's not, kind of a small thing. Definitely not a lot. Not a lot of titles in this guy's name. It's because he's too busy working on scamming people that he isn't actually coming up with a freaking career. He played in a film called Farming. He played in The White Crow and Last Moment of Clarity. No idea. A lot of weird movies. Shit you've never heard of. But yeah, at least he was in Fury. You got that. You got that going for you. It's an uncredited part as a Nazi medic. Oh, my God. Unbelievable. That's it. What a criminal. Guilty, innocent till proven guilty. Right, Dean? Which is true. But the evidence is very damning against you. It will be. Holy crap. F45 in Byron Center, Michigan. Thanks to them. F45training.com if you want to get in shape. All the COVID protocols are in place. You walk in, you get the temperature check. There's a story I have coming up about a temperature check. They take the temperature check. Off you go. You get into your workout tile. You do your workout. They sanitize the place, and they wait for the next crew. Classes all day long and on the weekend. Go to f45training.com /Byron Center to get 1 week free at F45. Great place to work out. Love them. F45training.com /Byron Center. Thanks again to Mario, the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage, for being on board with the show. If you need a mortgage, think about Mario, okay? It could be for a refi. It could be for your first-time mortgage. It could be you're just looking to buy a new house. Get the mortgage ahead of time. Some of you will be able to get mortgage rates near 2%, all right? Call Mario and ask about that. Now, I'm going to be totally transparent with you. That person who's going to get that is probably going to be getting a 15-year mortgage and is going to have an impeccable credit score, okay? This is going to be an easy process for you. Mario, though, absolutely, not only can he do that, but he also likes to navigate for the person who is the first-time home buyer, who has little or no credit, and the person who has had crazy shit happen to them, or they stink with money. This is all okay. This is a lot of you. Bankruptcy, divorce, bad with money, whatever it may be. These are things that happen. That's called life. That's probably a lot of you. That's okay. It doesn't mean you can't get a mortgage. You're not going to get the 2% mortgage, but you can get a mortgage. And if you can't, Mario is going to give you solid advice on how to turn that around. That ain't easy. But you can do it if you make the decision. And he can help you because he's been there. He's helped a lot of people in this same process. Call Mario, 231-332-6505. Leave a message. If he doesn't pick it up, mention my name when you leave that message. Say, I'm an Eric Zane Show podcast listener. Please call me back. He's going to be like, oh, shit, I got to do that. Because truth be told, I've had a couple of you that say, damn it, he never called me back. And I'm like, motherfucker. So then I call up Mario and go, Mario, what the fuck, man? I can't be sitting there telling these people to call you and you're sitting there picking your ass. Call these. Okay, Eric, I'll do it. Now, truth be told, Mario could squash me. He is a gigantic man. Holy shit. 231-332-6505 for the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. Okay. I got to tell you about the story about a temperature check, how it all went south for a guy trying to take his family on a vacation in Disney. That's coming up. Also, the email of the day is awesome. It's Pellerito. He's done another amazing bit of wacky statistics about something that happened on this show. I love this guy so much. Holy shit, this is great. You're going to love this email. But first, first of all, I want to throw this out there as a reminder that I'm going to be on Who Are These Podcasts coming up this weekend. Boy, the sun is just making me look pale. Who Are These Podcasts this weekend? We are recording. I can't handle it. We are recording on Saturday. Hang on. Hold on. Terrible. Look like a GD ghost. Adam says, I'm impressed. Eric doesn't need sunglasses with all the sun coming through the window. I'd be squinting and fussing up a storm. It wasn't burning right into my eyes. It just looked like it. Richard says, try looking at the sun next time you miss a jizz. Dean ripping on me about my nose. That seems to be his go-to joke lately. He's very, very quick to drop it. So you know that he'll say that for about the next 3 years. That's Dean's MO. I almost called him Gene. He gets a joke, and then you won't believe it's that whole beating a dead horse thing. He is not afraid to say a joke until no one is actually laughing. It's okay. I've been there. Who Are These Podcasts? I'm recording on Saturday with Carl. It's we're discussing the Let Me Tell You podcast starring Jamar. And oh my God, this thing is a target-rich environment. I cannot wait for you to hear that. Carl and Andy and myself. My goal in this is to have fun and hopefully draw some new people to this show. If I'm lucky, that will happen. So basically, I've listened to Jamar's show. I've taken notes. There's things I want to touch on. I play my clips. I talk about them. They do the same thing. That's the point of the podcast. I'm also going to break down Chad Zumach, who is a total asshole, and I cannot wait for that. That guy is a complete maniac and bully, and he's going to get what he deserves from me. Cannot stand that guy. But I'm going to try not to let my hatred of the guy get in the way of what my job is, and that is to point out the stupidity of his podcast. It isn't like I'm doing it because he's an asshole. I'm doing it because his podcast sucks, which I've had happen to me on Carl's show. He said, all right, Eric Zane Show podcast sucks. Here's why. And I'm like, fuck you. But it's okay. I like the show. Okay, so imagine this. You plan a freaking trip to Walt Disney World, okay? And, all right, you spend a ton of cash. This guy, I can't believe he spent this much money. This Louisiana guy spends $15,000 on a Disney vacation. By the way, reach out to Jericho if you ever want to book one of those. Let me know, and I'll point you in the right direction. It doesn't cost you anything to work with a booker, by the way, like Jericho. Jericho, that's the last free one. I got to start charging you for those. This guy plans a vacation of a lifetime. Okay. He gathers his family in Louisiana and he spends a lot of money, $15,000. Can you believe you can spend that much money on a Disney World vacation? I mean, you can spend half that and go on like a European vacation. I mean, my God, it is what an overpriced catastrophe. I've done this. I've taken my kids to Disney World, but it wasn't like the way they're doing it. Every time I went to Disney World, I was doing it in conjunction with like the AT Children's Project, where you would raise a bunch of money for charity. And then if you meet a goal, you get rewarded with like a voucher to get like free admission to the park. So it saved you a tremendous amount of money. With hotel, with money spent at the park, a week, maybe $2,000, $3,000, I don't know, something like that. It's going to cost you at least $175 a person to get into the park. It's expensive as shit. And then once you get in there and you got to eat, it's oh my God, just a absolute catastrophe. This guy shows up at Disney World. His name is Kelly. Dude named Kelly. 47-year-old Kelly Sills is there with his family. He goes into a restaurant at one of the resorts there is Disney Springs, okay? And there's a spot in the restaurant where there's going to be someone there who makes $10 an hour is going to say, "Welcome to the restaurant, sir. Here, got to take a temperature check." And they point the stupid thing at you, and then it says you don't have a temperature. So then you go in and you eat. This is all he has to do. He refused that. He said, "No way. I'm a patriot, okay? I'm a patriot and I'm stupid. Those two things are synonymous. Always. Always." And he goes, "No way, man. I've got freedom and the Liberty Bell and the British are coming and Boston Tea Party. Patriot, freedom. Don't tread on me." That's the language these morons speak. They go, no, sir, I'm sorry, but it's just a technicality. We just got to take your temperature." No way. Paul Revere, Benjamin Franklin, patriot, Constitution, liberty, law. Don't tread on me. And, sir, take a temperature. You can go in and enjoy your meal. No way. Liberty Bell. Okay, you got to leave. Fuck you. I'm not leaving. Sir, you have to. You can't enter without a temperature check. I have freedom. This whole tired act. I'm gonna post a clever meme. Say you're a sheep. You're just a sheep. $10 an hour person. Fuck you. I'm an American. Okay, well you gotta go. Manager shows up. Yeah, dude, you can't get in. We're just gonna hold this thing up to your head. No way. So they called the cops on the guy and they arrested him. Vacation over. The stupid shit pays $15,000 for a vacation. He gets there. First place he goes, he doesn't want the temperature check, and he's fucked. Okay. To me, this is an early favorite for asshole today. Can you imagine the kids? He's got all these kids with him, and they're like, "Oh, fuck, Dad, you're such a dick. You and your fucking don't tread on me flags. You're, oh, God, it's just, this is a reason for kids to like, what is that process called when you can like leave your parents being like ejaculated or something like that? Ejaculation, or what is that called? I know that's not it, but it sounds like it. I forget what it's called. They're going to want to do that. One of you guys can help. What is that term called? Emancipation, right? Is that it? I think that's it. Emancipate. So there you go. This patriot is now, his vacation is over. Done. Sorry, you do not pass go. You do not get to ride the fucking teacups. Sills told the Washington Post that he would have happily consented to a screening, but he walked into the restaurant through an exit. Okay, so there was confusion, and he didn't realize his mistake. He says the manager escalated the conflict and compared Disney security to Nazis and the mafia. COVID is a very serious thing, but so is my vacation with my family. There you go. This is all you need to know. Of course, he's going to say that. This is how these morons think. COVID is a serious thing, but so's my vacation. I interacted with somebody the other day who said this to me. I swear to God. I said to this person, "Are you going to get the vaccine?" And no, actually, I said, "Hey, did you make your appointment?" And the person says, "No, I didn't. I'm not getting it." And I said, "Yeah?" And I didn't ask why. I just left it there. And the person said, I think that I haven't got it now, so I don't need the vaccine. If I haven't got it now, I don't need the vaccine. And I went, and I'm like, wait, what? He says, yeah, I'm immune to it. So I haven't gotten it now, so I don't need the vaccine. And I go, no, you see, it prevents you from getting it. That's how it works. He goes, oh, I know. I go, well, there's not a connection here. The synapses aren't really, I think you got the wires crossed on the logic behind me. I understand. If you're not going to get it, you're not going to get it. I mean, I think it's stupid, but I'm not understanding the logic here. I would have a better understanding of the logic if you said Liberty Bell, Constitution, Betsy Ross than what you just told me. I have no idea. Sills' attorney declined to comment. The Orlando Sentinel said Sills is only the latest person arrested for refusing to follow Disney's health rules. I love it when these patriots get busted. It makes me so happy. In February, a man was accused of spitting on a security guard after being asked to wear a mask. Ugh. So there you go. Congratulations. Vacation over, dummy. Okay. By the way, tons of openings. If you're local, not everybody in my podcast audience is local to Grand Rapids, but tons of openings opened up Wednesday for vaccinations today. If you have the MyChart app, that is the easiest way to do this. I highly recommend this. You don't even need to have like an account with them or anything. You can actually download the MyChart app, click where it says COVID. For you dummies who don't believe what I'm saying, just ignore this part of the show. I still love you, though. You can sign in as a guest and then go through the steps. There's a couple forms you fill out, and then all of a sudden, voila, all these spots will open up with times. You click on one, and then off you go. Go get your damn shot. There's been a lot of talk about how, hey, how come in Michigan, where it's been a strict protocol, and in states like Texas, there hasn't? Why is it so? There's Michigan, the hottest state in the union for COVID, and states like Texas and Arkansas, it's not. I realize that looks weird, but what the prevailing thought is, those tests, if those states aren't nearly testing as many people. If you were to look at Arkansas and Texas specifically, the amount of testing that they're doing there is significantly lower than any of the Midwest states and the East, where it's dramatically higher. So what you're getting there is a false sense that there's actually less COVID there. When there's just as much COVID. It's just that there's a hell of a lot less testing that is going on. And in the Midwest and in the Northeast, there is this rampant new variant is running roughshod through the community and making a lot of people sick. So that is the theory behind why you see, hey, wait a minute. In Texas, they're going to see the Rangers play baseball, and they're good. Thus, we must do what they do. It's not like that at all. Don't let that fool you. Just stay the course. Get your vaccine. Stay away from each other. Keep your masks on, and don't be an asshole. That's all I ask. Or be an asshole. I don't give a shit. But anyway, that's that. That's my soapbox for the day. Still love you. Just do what I do. All right. Tim writes, do you remember asking John Kruk if Darren Dalton was living in Narnia? Yes. The good thing is you remember it too. Moments like that allowed me to be able to do what I do for a living. Darren Dalton was the former Major League Baseball catcher who went bonkers. He had some type of serious mental problems, and he believed that he could talk to animals. While interviewing his former teammate, John Kruk, when he played with the Phillies, said, "Hey, what's going on with Darren Dalton? Isn't he talking to animals in Narnia?" And he goes, "Excuse me?" He was so pissed. And that was absolutely a high watermark. You see, it was those moments. That show doesn't do interviews anymore, and I don't know why. But when we did interviews, I always felt the need to make them memorable in some way, shape, or form. And the only way to make stupid interviews memorable is by doing something funny or something that is awkward that becomes funny. Like playing Fat Albert when we bring in Al Roker, who had just lost a ton of weight or was gaining it back or some shit, and everybody got all butthurt when I did it, but they still go back to it this day and play it and go, And then that moment, too, asking John Kruk if Darren Dalton was in Narnia was a high water mark, in my opinion. All right. Just looking at email, sorry. Pellerito, there it is. Email of the day brought to you by my friends at Forever Lawn West Michigan, online at foreverlawn.com/WMI. Synthetic grass for your home, synthetic grass for your business, maybe a putting green, bocce ball. You rich bastards want to play bocce ball. Have my friends at Forever Lawn West Michigan install this synthetic grass. Okay, improve the value of your home, and you never have to mow the lawn again. How about that? Reach out to them for a quote. They'll come to your house and check you out. Foreverlawn.com/WMI. Your email of the day is from our very own Mike Pellerito. He writes this. A little bit of background. The last time I had my pal Jeffrey on, who I donated the kidney to, he was in a real toxic fog. What does that mean? Well, all the terrible things that were floating around in his buzz, God, that's embarrassing, in his blood. I just combined words of dialyze and blood to give you buzz. Jesus. He would dialyze his blood on a dialysis machine. And what that does is you get a lot of toxic things in your blood, which you're just not right, okay? It's poison. So this was a day-to-day thing with him. And so I experienced it on a regular basis when we would have phone conversations. And he, when I interviewed him prior to the kidney donation, you could hear it. It sounded like he was intoxicated. He doesn't sound like that anymore. And that was evident when I had an interview with him yesterday for Living Donor Day, National Living Donor Day. And so, he's put on 30 pounds. He looked great. He sounded great. He was sharp. I had Val Cobbs from the National Kidney Association and Allison Gillum from Gift of Life. So it was awesome. So while the crispness in his voice has returned, what hasn't left him is his usage of the term or the words, which the last time I had him on, Pellerito did this, and he is back. He writes this. Eric, I know you were waiting with bated breath for this update. I just got done running the numbers. He listens to the whole thing and takes notes. Back in November, the percentage of usage was Eric, 5.95%, Jeffrey, 94.05%. So of the amount of times that was said in the interview, I said it 5.95% of the time. Jeffrey said it 94.05% of the time. He continues. In the Gift of Life interview yesterday, Eric said, only 4 times. Jeffrey said, know, 92 times. 4 plus 92 equals 96. 4 divided by 96, Eric, is 4.17%. 92 divided by 96, Jeffrey, 95.83%. Conclusion: the kidney you gave came with presents. In addition to the kidney gift, Jeffrey absorbed approximately 1.78% of your capabilities with your kidney. Congratulations to Jeffrey on increasing his capabilities. I suppose he needed a kidney, but expanding his usage of is the greatest gift of all. Then he adds, in all seriousness, it was a great interview. Thank you for it. You and Jeffrey did a great job of capturing the real-life experience that you both went through, what people can and should expect, and what the reaping benefits both parties get as a result. Great job, the interview and the journey. P.S. Allison stole 2 of your while transferring to Jeffrey. She said it twice. P.P.S. Val Cobbs is awesome. She absolutely is. Thank you, Mike. Well done. Great email. Loved it. All right. Asshole of the day. Who's it going to be? I've got a couple of sponsors I'm going to take care of, but I'm just going to throw out the nominees. You've got guy on the track. I don't know if he was saying I was fat or what, but he kind of snarkily said, yeah, we're going to carry you on our shoulders. All right. There's that. I guess Deshaun Watson, he's being accused of terrible things and a real bit of he said, she said. Is it Deshaun Watson? Now, in my mind, I think he did it, but I can't say for sure. Is it the women accusing him of these things? Could they possibly be asshole of the day? I don't know. I don't even know about him. Travis Rudolph, the former NFL player who played a few games and cops say killed somebody. How about him? Ponzi scheme guys, either Bernie Madoff or Zach Avery. Bernie Madoff would be old school, but Zach Avery's the new Ponzi scheme guy. Idiot at Disney who didn't want his temperature checked. Patriot Disney guy. Okay, these are all nominees for Asshole of the Day. Make sure I got my board. Okay, hey, if you have a pistol, a rifle, shotgun, whatever it is that you have, and it's not working the way it should be, you need to remember BK Guns and Stuff. No matter where you are in the United States, you can get your gun serviced and repaired. Gun service, customized, cleaned, refurbished, whatever it might be. You get maybe a grandpa gives you an old firearm that you want to have the folks at BK Guns and Stuff take a look at before you use the firearm, or maybe even just make it look better. It just needs some TLC, something like that. They do all these things at BK Guns and Stuff. 616-902-2447. That's 616-902-2447. You can get more information about them on their Facebook page. You just search out the letter B, the letter K, Guns, and then an N, Stuff. BK Guns and Stuff. Or at ericzaneshow.com. Click on their link in the sponsor scroll to take you right to their Facebook page. And you can do this from anywhere in the United States. It's one of these businesses. It isn't just special local or serving people locally. Boy, I'm struggling with words today. God, what is my problem? Okay, last but not least on the list of great sponsors today, as they all are, Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid, and EV. Okay, servicing domestic, Asian, European vehicles, the best in the business. This is so simple. The process is this. If you are in West Michigan or any of the surrounding areas, it can be as simple as this. 7 p.m., no one's there at Irvine's. Drop your car off. Just leave it there. Fill out what you want. Done. I need an oil change, and I need you to check the car for a trip that I'm going on. Put the key in the envelope. Drop it in the drop box. Your friend or your family member takes you home. The next day, you get an email. It says, all right, approve this work. oil change, what you wanted. Check the car. We did and we also noticed that there's these things. You need an antifreeze flush. You need brake fluid needs to be changed out. And what they do is they show you the picture of what your brake fluid looks like and compare it to like a graph of what healthy different stages of degradation of the fluid. So if it's fresh fluid, it looks a certain way. If it's shitty and looks like yours, they say, this is black. This is terrible. You need this changed out. Okay. Then you're like, holy shit. If you want that work, you just hit the green button, green button, green button. No, I don't want that. Red button, red button. And then that approves the work. They do it. They send you another thing. It's done. Here's the bill. You click the button. You enter a credit card. You pay for it. Hey, I can't pick it up till 8 p.m. That's all right. Your key's going to be in the lockbox. Here's the code. You show up there. You haven't even seen anybody. You just put the numbers in, get your key, and get the fuck out of there. There you go. It's awesome. Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid and EV, the best in the business. I love them so much. Irvine, just show mom. Irvine's is, that is, you have Eric and Jamie. They are the owners. Jamie's the queen of auto repair. She is the majority owner and, of course, a veteran. And then, of course, Eric is there working on cars. That's her husband. He's a 49% owner and a great guy. Bruce there is kind of making all the scheduling. And then you got show mom Megan, who puts it all together in just a big ball of goodness and thoroughness. And she's just such an ass kicker. My God. Megan, I have a feeling you would dominate in any workplace, no matter what it is. I'll never forget. She's really organized. And if you bring Megan into any environment, she right away just starts looking around at how she can make it better. We walked into Captain Bizarro's, which, oh my God, she walked in there and she's like, what is going on in here? Let's start working. This needs to be over here. And Bizarro's like, oh my God, I've never had somebody who's so amazing and thorough. And we're all sitting there taking orders from Megan. She's taking charge and shit. We're like, yeah, get him. She's just a take charge kind of lady. You definitely need more Megans in the world to get shit done, is what I'm telling you. Holy crap. She is a dynamo. All right. What do we got for asshole today? Let's take a look at what some of you are saying on the comments. Kenny writes, Megan is dominant everywhere. See what you did there. Megan says, I'm pretty fantastic. Oh, of course you are. Kate says, asshole of the day, Disney Patriot asshole. Let's see. Kent says, I just got back from Disney. Didn't come close to spending $15K. I think this guy had some type of one of the posh resort things or something like that. Maybe he had 10 kids or something like that. I don't know. But he said, I just spent $15. All right. What's it going to be? All these nominations. Who is it going to be as our asshole of the day, which, as you guys know, is brought to you by my friends at JM Synthetics. Online at jmsynthetics.com. Selling AMSOIL products. And then, of course, TC Paintball. Online at tcpaintballgr.com. Book a party at TC Paintball. Before you do that, buy some AMSOIL products from JM Synthetics. Well, come on now. The Disney Patriot asshole is absolutely perfect. Way to go. You blew it. Your people that you came there with, your family, they hate you. All because of your stupid ass don't tread on me flag. Screw you, idiot. Nobody likes you now and forever. Okay. I want to thank you for being on board with this podcast and checking it out today. If there's anybody new, please remember that to subscribe to the podcast And leave me a 5-star review if you could. Maybe say something snarky. That's fine. Love that. Be funny about it. Put some time and effort into it. I want to see those reviews. I'm also on Patreon, patreon.com/Eric Zane, as we will continue the podcast with another 30 or 40 minutes of fun. $5 or $10 a month. I suggest you just try it out. Try that thing out. And if you like it, then you can roll it over into a yearly. That'll save you 10%. Or you don't like it, cancel it. You get the rest of that month. That's how we do it. I've got 5 different bits of content each week. About 13, 14 hours of material on Patreon per week. Okay? Including the Ben and Eric Patreon podcast, which is tomorrow night with a live Zoom audience if you are on Patreon. Patreon.com/Eric Zane. All right, folks. Talk to you down the road. Till next time. Bye-bye.